Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games, and as promised, here's the video of some of the cards that I'm looking at from an investment standpoint from the new Mystery Booster set, as well as some cards that you may wish to avoid. Let's jump right into it, and I'm going to start off with some cards that you want to be hesitant, maybe a little bit careful of from an investment standpoint. We're going to start right here with the Gitrog monster. So one of the greatest things about Commander is that it's one of, if not the most popular forms of Magic the Gathering right now, especially considering all the craziness that's going on in the world. I mean, social gatherings are starting to become sort of banned in a bunch of countries all over the world. I mean, I'm in Canada and they just banned all social gatherings of 50 people or more. And I have a feeling that that number is definitely going to be tightened. And even if it doesn't, people are still hesitant and with good reason about going outside and being in public right now. So I'm not going to get too much into that. That's not what this video is about, but it does actually relate to all of these, sort of everything I'm going to say in this video. So let's get back to the Gitrog monster. Like I said, one of the best things about Commander is that it's one of the hugest formats. So cards that work well in Commander and are popular in Commander are going to be in high demand for sure. On the flip side of that, the worst thing about Commander is that decks only run one copy of any one given card, right? Like that's one of the things that makes Commander so special. It's a singleton format. So one of the things like the Gitrog monster and some of these other commanders that are in mystery boosters is it's great we got a reprint of these and we really do need them. You know, we needed all this stuff to get into the market. A fresh supply of these is a real boon for Magic the Gathering. But people only need one of them. And so something like the Gitrog monster is a great example. People only, first of all, have to want to build the Gitrog monster, and then, of course, they only need one of them, right? So, because this card is really only used in Commander. Of course, there's a couple of other sort of small decks, weird decks in various formats that run it, but this is a Commander card. So, what does that mean? Well, let's have a look at, so the current price of the Mystery Booster, the Gitrog monster, you can buy these shipped for around $4 and change, right? For around $4.50. So the market price being $4.90. Well, let's look at the original Gitrog monster printed in Shadows over Innistrad. This one's still $10, right? So we're, the gap between these two is substantial, and that's to be expected with, that's sort of normal practice when a reprint set comes out. The original printings sort of lag behind for a couple of months before they really start to drop in price. With all the massive new supply of the reprints coming onto the market, they sort of hit rock bottom really quickly, which is generally a good time to invest in those cards. And that's what we're going to be talking about with a bunch of the cards, a little bit later in this video, a bunch that you should be investing now that the sort of bottom is falling out of some of these cards. But I do believe that these commanders, I'm not saying the Gitrog monster is never going to recover, but commanders like this, cards that are specifically commander type cards, they're going to take a while to sort of get back up to the same places as the original printings. Cards like the Gitrog monster, Queen Marchesa, Marin of Clan Neltoth, these ones here I would be hesitant about investing in. I'm not saying that you definitely should pick them up if you're looking at making these. It's a great time to be picking up and buying them, but from an investment standpoint, these are going to take a while to recover. Now let's talk about a card that I would avoid like the plague, and that is Sen Triplets, the Mystery Booster edition. First of all, let's look at where Sen Triplets was at before the Mystery Booster printing. I mean, the regular sort of non-foil version of this card was around the $60 mark, high 50s, sort of low 60s, and the foil was around 150. It was actually higher than 150. It's starting to slowly come down. In fact, the market price on the foil for the original Sen Triplets is under $100 now. So now let's go back to the Sen Triplets Mystery Booster version. And I actually think this is it's a much nicer looking one. The inking on the new sort of Mystery Booster reprints is really nice compared to some of the older stuff. So this actually I think is sort of a better than the original if you're not like an OP printing kind of guy. So the foil of this is, market price of $25. You can actually get it shipped off of TCG Player for around 26 bucks to your door. That is a crazy, crazy gap between the foil pricing of around, 100 to 140 for the original print. I honestly believe, I mean, you can get the foil Send Triplets Mystery Booster for cheaper than the original non-foil printing, right? So this card is going to take a long time, or it may never get to the heights that the original foils were at. So don't fool yourself into thinking that this is, a crazy good card to be picking up right now in bunches and holding for the future. And the reason I say that is Send Triplets is a commander. I mean, this is the place it gets played. It gets played in Commander. So, and it's not by far not one of the most popular commanders. People have to want Send Triplets in foil, and then they have to want to build that deck, right? And again, it's not one of the most popular decks. And there is going to be a ton of these things out there. There's only, 121 possible foils. So basically think of it this way. For every I think it's 5.1 boxes opened, there's another foil Send Triplets. That's just the math, folks, right? This card here, I don't ever see it getting anywhere near the heights that the original foil Send Triplets was demanding. So be super, super careful about considering this card to be an investment. Now, that said, if you want one as a player, by all means, grab it. This can be a really fun commander. I actually built this deck a while back. It is a super, super fun commander. And having a foil version for $27, 30 bucks, whatever you end up paying for this thing, is a bargain compared to what you used to pay for. But I would just be extremely careful about looking at this as an investment. All right, let's flip things over to the other side. Let's have a look at cards that I'm investing in. So these are in absolutely no particular order. I'm going to give you the card, why I think I'm investing in it anyway, and why you may want to consider investing in it, as well as my target prices. Now, I will say before we get into all of this that we're going to be getting another round of supply. I'm sure your local store was sold out. Everybody was. I mean, local to me anyway, for sure. And I'm assuming that was kind of a worldwide phenomenon with this set. So that's just amazing. Super good value. So I'm pretty sure it sold out everywhere. So there's another wave coming next week. It's basically just whatever stock that distributors had that wasn't shipped out to the stores for sort of opening weekend, right? So then the suppliers will be out, or the distributors will be out of stock, which means that your local game store will be within a week or two. And then, assuming no supply chain disruptions, who knows, like I said, with the current situation, but assuming no supply chain disruptions, we should have another restock within a couple of weeks to a month. And there's no, according to my distributor, there's no sort of set number of how much or how large that restock is going to be. So that's where we are with restocking mystery boosters. Okay, let's get into some cards I'm investing in and why. We'll start right here with Ristic Study. So my target on this card is around the $18 mark. And the reason why I think Ristic Study is an excellent choice as an investment, even with sort of all this mystery boosters that we've opened, the price hasn't really hasn't dropped out of this card like it has with a lot of other cards in this set. So, I mean, the regular Prophecy version can be had for around the $22 mark. Sort of the same thing with the regular mystery booster cards. Now, it has been coming down. Obviously these are unrealistic prices when the set first dropped, but you could get this card for around the $20 to $25 mark, and we're down a little bit off of that mark, but this card falls below $18. I'm a huge buyer, as many as I can get my hands on. And the reason for that is just Ristic Study is super, super popular in Commander. There was nowhere near enough supply of the originals in the market for the demand that it had for Commander. I mean, that's why it was fetching, a $20, $25 price tag for a common. Basically, if you're running blue in Commander, there's almost no reason why you wouldn't have Ristic Study in your deck. So it's one of the most popular cards in Commander for sure, with good reason, and there's always going to be a massive demand for this card, and the supply that we get from mystery boosters will not meet that demand. So like I said, I'm a huge investor in this card at anywhere below $18. That's my target on it. All right, up next we have a Grave Titan. So again, another awesome reprint from the mystery boosters, currently priced around the $8.50 mark. If you have a look at this card has been printed quite a bit. So we had a commander printing, and then of course the two original printings early in Magic 2011 and Magic 2012, right? Those printings are all in the sort of 1350-ish range to 1450, falling in sort of that category. So there's currently a massive gap when you can pick up these ones at $8.50. Now, I believe that in the short term that the prices here will grow together, and that these will end up coming down a little bit, probably down to the $11-12 range, just because of all the new supply of Great Titan that enters the market. And this should get back up to the $10, $11, $12 range. So excellent investment at $8.50 for sure. And my target on this card, if it falls below $7, I'm buying as many as I can get. But even at this $8.50 price, I think this is an excellent opportunity. The next one on my list is Beast Within. So currently priced at $1.45-ish. Let's head on over to TCG. Yeah, on TCG, you can find this for as low as $1.14 plus shipping. So around the $1.45 mark, this is a perennial staple card, right? I actually do a weekly finance segment on this channel called This Week in MTG Finance. It's one of the cards I featured this week. My target on this card is $1 to the $1.25 range. Like definitely $1 or less, I'm buying as many of these as I can get my hand on. But even at the $1.40, $1.25, $1.40 range, this is still an excellent opportunity. As you can see, this card has had many printings in a bunch of different commanders, battle bonds, like a lot of multiplayer sets, original printing, new Phyrexia. The card is a perennial card in the $2 to $3 range, right? So being able to pick these up at $1 to $1.50 range is just an excellent investment opportunity for the future. All right, the next one on my list, and this is also one I mentioned this week in my financial segment, is Fatal Push from Mystery Boosters. So let's head on over to TCG. On TCG, you can get this card near mint for as low as $1.72 plus shipping. So pretty crazy to see Fatal Push being available for those prices. Like $1.72 is kind of crazy, right? So my target on this card is definitely anything below $2. I'm buying. I'm like huge buying. The reason for that is Fatal Push is just used in so many formats, right? Pioneer, Modern, all that kind of stuff. And it's not a card that people need one of. They need 4 of these. They're going to put 4 in their deck, or put, some combination of 4 in their deck and sideboard, right? So Fatal Push is just super popular. Amazing card, especially in these formats. The regular one, original printing one, is close to $5. So, I mean, if you can get this card for under $3, but definitely in the $2 range, I'm an investor for sure. All right, then the next one on my list is Minamo School at Water's Edge. This card is an absolute steal at the current prices. It's actually below my target. My target on this card is $15, so anywhere below this card, I'm buying as much as I can get my hands on. I'm already actually starting to stockpile these cards. So Minamo School at Water's Edge, if you're playing Commander, there's almost no reason, and you're playing blue, there's almost no reason why you shouldn't play this in your deck. I mean, yes, it's not fetchable, so I suppose there's that, and it's not technically a basic land or anything like that, so I guess there's that as well. But for 99% of decks, those two things don't matter. What does matter is this land does not come into play tap, so you can tap it right away to add blue to your mana pool like you could a basic island. But you can pay blue, tap it, and untap, target a legendary permanent. So I'm sure there's lots of useful things you can do with that, even just as something as simple as having your commander for both attacking and blocking. It's like a pseudo vigilance, right? But there's all sorts of gross sort of combo-y stuff you can do with this as well. Anyway, enough about Minamo. The regular version of this card, the foil, is like $85, right? And the non-foil version is well over $20. So you can get the foil version from Mystery Boosters for cheaper than you can buy the non-foil original. And like I said, as contrary to something like Send Triplets, where that's a very specific commander that you would have to want to build, this card here fits in most, if not all, blue commander decks. So Picking up these at under 15 bucks is an absolute bargain. I would invest in these at those prices all day long. So same sort of story with a Shizo, a Death Storehouse. This is an excellent opportunity at under $10. In fact, that's my target for it. So anywhere under $10, I'm definitely a buyer on this card. Shizo Death Storehouse, similar to Miyano School at Water's Edge. It's kind of no reason why you really wouldn't want to run it in any black commander deck that you have. So again, doesn't enter the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add black to your mana pool, or you can pay a black, tap it, and target legendary creature gains fear until end of turn. So just an extra way to kind of poke that commander on through, right? So if we have a look at the original printing from Champions of Kamigawa, normally priced around $18 for the non-foil version and 40 bucks. So again, not saying that the mystery booster one will ever get to sort of that $40 range, although it wouldn't surprise me because, I mean, we're going to be getting a bunch of these into the marketplace with it being in the foil slot in the mystery boosters. However, the demand on these is always going to be high. So again, something that, you know, in comparison to something like Sen Triplets, there'll be a lot more demand for something like Shizo Death Storehouse. All right, and the last one I have for you guys today is the Supreme Verdict from Mystery Boosters. So my target on this is around the $7, $8 mark, and we're pretty much there right now. In fact, you can get it shipped from TCG Player for as low as $7 currently. So pretty much at target prices right now. Let's have a look at the regular printing from Return to Ravnica. I mean, this card is a staple. It's a staple in Modern, you know, Pioneer, and Commander. So no wonder it was fetching a $15 price tag prior to this. So that price is slowly starting to come down. But I would expect that, you know, the mystery booster version would catch up with that price once the products start getting or stop getting open. So excellent opportunity to jump right in right now around the $7 mark, and a really good long-term investment for sure. So there's a few other cards that I'm looking at as well. I definitely have my eyes on. Things like Eternal Witnesses are, you know, perennial staples in a bunch of formats. So picking this one up around the $2 mark is probably a great investment. Cold Steel Heart is another really good one. There's lots of good cards in this. I mean, use your best judgment, right? Look at stuff that is getting used in multiple formats or specifically Commander, right? So Cold Steel Heart, big card in Commander for sure. You know, getting these for under $1 when the regular ones were going for around $4, like, it's just a crazy good deal. These will definitely be going up in the future. So all right, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and you found it useful. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps me out. And if you're a subscriber, you know, as always, I want to thank you for being here. We really appreciate your support, especially in these turbulent and tough times. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. We post at least 2 videos every week. Okay, bye for now.